auto work now. Oh!
Hey everybody, it's Durger time. Welcome back to another episode of Billy Corgan's NWA. It's Season 3, Episode 1, sort of. We had a little backstage episode to kind of set up things for us a little bit earlier, and I'm sure you probably have watched that. If you haven't, it might not be your cup of tea, but it's basically just entirely a little backstage kind of setup episode where we talk about a little bit about maybe what we're going to do going forward, a little bit of hiring, and then kind of configuring the save to how we want it. Because we did restart at the end of Season 2. We had a bit of a time jump, which I recommend watching if you haven't seen it. But this is a great place to start because we started with a new save, keeping some of the legacy over, and we're moving forward on a new updated save, which I'm really excited about. So let's go ahead and look at what is going on in the world, because every time in the beginning of a new save, things get weird. Okay, we got some working agreements down. In episode 0, we set up an alliance, as a matter of fact, and we can look at that real quick here. But we set up some relationships and an alliance. I thought we did. Interesting. Well, we have the working relationship now. I thought we did set up an alliance, but perhaps we just have to fix that. I was thinking of doing a workers' alliance and actually setting up the NWA proper. Definitely something I was thinking about going forward. We might do that at the end of the show. We might not have to worry about that right now. But we do have some working relationships right now. AEW, Championship Wrestling from Hollywood, Innovate Pro Wrestling, and Lucha Libre AAA. Some people had suggested maybe bringing in Impact. I don't think they'll join, but we can certainly try to add a relationship to them. It's just a working agreement. Honestly, having more people with us, the better. I don't think they're going to accept a working relationship. We can try, though. Ain't going to hurt. Being friendly with everybody is not going to hurt us at all. And I do want to set up an alliance with us. We also got a Gavin loudspeaker because we got rid of Jim Cornette. And we'll add him. I think he is a color commentator. That'll be good. Also have David Marquez is not on the roster. In fact, there are some missing names on here from NWA currently. Some of them we're not going to pick up. Someone pointed out in the live chat someone that we were missing, which definitely we should grab, is Thunder Rosa. Great hand, young lion. Definitely could be a future face of the women's division for us. So definitely something we want to pick up. 260 is fine. I mean, just strong, perfect. And Young Lion will do some stuff with her. It'll go pretty well. And I think she was in Lucha Underground, too. We could also bring her in if we ever wanted to do a women's tag division. We could always bring in Holodead, too, who I always like to bring in during like local to global saves. Good and easy hand to kind of build up a roster very cheaply, which is nice. What else do we have going on? Not much. We have 2 days for Power, which will run. Let's take a look at the world real quick. Just going to take a glance here, because everything gets a little weird day one. So, like one of the Singh brothers, though, oh, that's not one of the Singh. Interesting. Anything else crazy going on? Not really. Yeah, I don't really see anything super nutty going on. And our roster is relatively okay. There's a few names we might want to pick out that could be fun, that are probably floating around. I think in this save, Marty is still a pay-per appearance. Would not be a bad get for us. In fact, we could probably bring... it's interesting you don't have the rest of the gang. But we could probably bring in Brody King, PCO, do like Villain Club. Could be fun. Would be a pretty good get for us. We also have some updates we need to do for the save. It's interesting that Jungle Boy on here is still as a pay-per appearance. We might utilize that to our advantage, though I don't know how. Could be useful. Some weird oddities I probably should have fixed, because really most of those contracts should be set as written, but that's fine. For now, though, I think we're okay. I'm not really going to go crazy hiring. That's something that we ended up really getting screwed over on in the past. I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to skip over to Power. We'll film Power and see where we're at and see where we want to be. We have to be mindful of that money because we do have $1 million, which is nice, but as we had talked about before, it can very quickly be depleted, and we have to really be careful about it. All right, let's go ahead and jump forward. All right, guys, we're back. Just did a little bit of behind-the-scenes fun. I had to rebuild that alliance. For some reason, it disappeared. I don't know why. Unfortunately, things got weird. I couldn't bring Innovate in, but we added Crash Lucha Libre and Impact to it, so that's fine. We also set up a single belt for now, National Heavyweight. Because obviously the World's Heavyweight, which normally would be the title, is exclusive to our show. And that's the way I kind of want it to be. I had contemplated in episode 0 to talking about maybe doing the Carl's Jr. North American. I decided the North American Heavyweight can be its own thing, and we'll kind of let it be that. So I think that works out a little bit better for us. We also... Okay, Sasha signed with Shimmer. That's fine. She's not exclusive. Thunder Rosa's coming in. Perfect. Still waiting for Marquez, oddly enough. Icarus needs to be assigned a gimmick, which we should probably look at. I also modified some of the saves so that Luke Harper, Victor, Sin Cara all leave. Where's Connor? I might not have set Connor. Oops. But I honestly, I would not be shocked if I decided to go ahead and bring them in. Yep, I forgot to add them. Boop, that's fine. We'll change that. Only real way to change it. So it's something that we'll have to look at going forward. I think I could see bringing Luke Harper. Let's see what Harper costs for us. That's a lot of money, though. That's a lot of money. I don't know if it's worth it. That's more than every single main eventer on our show is making. Like maybe, okay, we'll throw like some hard balls on here and see what we can do, but I don't know. I mean, so first of all, his popularity is huge, so it's a huge boon to us. If I can get him to 1,200 or even 1,300, I would take him. All right, so let's see what we can do. So 1,200 is the bottom there. Let's start at 1,200 guaranteed. Don't cover that. I'll give you hiring veto. Push would never be lower than upper mid Carter. And one of our icons, let's say. 1,340. Not horrible. What if I gave you hiring veto and creative control? I know that's dangerous, but now he's gonna want 1,600 eventually. We know that. That's fine. We can get there, but that'll give us some time. I'm comfortable with that. I don't think he's going to be upset with our booking, and we can work around it for creative control. I'm not that concerned. So we'll bring Brody in. Sin Cara, nah. I'd be curious to see where he shows up, but I'm not that interested. Connor and Victor may be, depending on the price, really great tag team for us. 1,100 is still a lot of money, but I think we can get them lower. Let's wait for Connor to show up, and then we could probably pitch them together, and I think they would be a great addition to the tag team division. Might be a little expensive, but I could see them being pretty good. I think we're also missing Homicide, I was noticing, which is Eddie Kingston's tag team partner in NWA. Let's go ahead and see. He's in Mid-South IWA right now. I mean, I'm not huge on him. Honestly, it would probably be for Gatekeeper. But let's see. What can I get you for? All right, let's go bottom barrel and let's see what we're looking at here. I don't think I'm going to get him for 800. 11, 12. All right, so what are we paying Kingston? Kingston's 790. Homicide's a lot of money. I'm just not a fan, to be honest, that much. Let's see what we can do here. Okay, so he said I'd be fine with 900 if I can get him for 900. Be Gatekeeper, never lower than mid-Carter, and I'll give you a hiring veto. 10. Never lower than upper mid-Carter. What would you do? 1040, not much more. And what if I give you like $500? Will you change your mind? No, actually, it somehow went up more. Don't know if I'm really willing to spend that money for him. You know what? We'll do like a 1-year contract. How about that? 1 year. Let me get you at 1,000. See if I can give you creative control hiring veto. Will you take it? Cool. All right. That could be a mistake. It could be a mistake, but listen, he's relatively popular. He's got pretty decent skills. His behaviors aren't considered that bad, and he's relatively available for us. So that's not a horrible get for us, I think. Could be worse. All right, let's go ahead and let's move on over to Power, and let's book our second show. We do want to alter where we're booked. As much as I love the fairground, we are going to go to the NWA Atlanta Power Studio. Sign. Its capacity is low. It's only 2,000, and we are expecting 1,700. So very quickly, we might end up needing a different studio. But we could always sell it and then get a different place. It's not a big deal. We do have a locker room incident. Let's take a look. This could be bad. Thomas Latimer was antagonizing Gavin Loudspeaker so much that a fight broke out. I'm going to give him a fine. There we go. We do have Latimer just fighting people, apparently. So that is a problem. And we'll have to deal with that. Who do I want to... Let's get a relationship with Aldous and somebody. Gonna do Pillman. No effect. Would like to get a protege for Pillman as early as possible in the save, just to make sure that we are getting a good use of his young lion status. I think it's important. All right, let's go ahead and book it and see what Power Episode 2 looks like, and what we have going on. We do have a few storylines. We need a few more. So I think we're going to introduce probably one more today. We probably need a tag team one. Yeah, we probably need a tag team. So we'll do something in the tag team division. And maybe one extra one that's kind of floating on the side. Right now, the only storyline that we really developed further was Sasha. Now, I think we need... Can I see product? No, I can't. I'm trying to think of how many storylines we need. Are not required to run any storylines. Actually, so based on our style, which I think is like old school wrestling, we're not required to run any storylines, which is interesting. But we still will, because I think they have an impact for us. So that's kind of interesting. I might modify that, because I like to actually... you guys might know, if we're not required to run storylines, is there any benefit to run storylines? Because I would rather change our production stylings so that storylines are important and we get the bonus for them for running very good, heated storylines. I think they work no matter what. I think it's just a requirement bar, but we'll see. All right, let's book it. All right, guys, we are done. We're at 60 minutes. We could have done 5, but we'll keep it a little lean. I don't need to book it out crazy. Not a lot of people on the show, though, which is kind of unfortunate. It's something that we're going to have to look at. 60 minutes is hard to book. It's hard to book everyone you want. So let's go ahead and see what we got going on. So we started with a pre-show match just to get the crowd warmed up. Sasha, Ashley Vox versus Skylar and Marty Bell. It's not great. Sasha needs a better opponent. And I was hoping to see if there was some chemistry here with anybody. Nobody, really. Sasha's improving in her performance skills, but really our women's division, it's a little lacking, right? So that's a pretty underwhelming number. But it's a pre-show match. Its goal was to work the crowd. I don't know if it did. Doesn't necessarily say that it got hot from that. So, oh well. We do have a gimmick turn. Let's go ahead and see... Oh, referee. Yeah, he should probably have a referee gimmick. We're changing it to just nothing. Because his gimmick of staff member wasn't believable enough. We start the show with an interview with Gavin Loudspeaker talking to the Von Erichs, who announced that they're here in NWA. They're looking back. They're proud to be back in NWA as a family legacy. And they want to prove that legacy's worth in the NWA. It does okay. Family tradition, above average and average. Gavin got an average for his gimmick, and we started the return to the NWA for the Von Erich storyline. Not much to say about it. It's not a great rating, though. That's a bit of a bummer. Von Erichs have a better match, though, for sure. Subpar wrestling, little heat. Von Erichs defeat the Wild Cards in 9 minutes, with Marshall Von Erich defeating Royce Isaacs by submission. Latimer was heads and shoulders above everybody else, significantly, but did get the crowd hotter, which was good. And we did gain heat for the Von Erichs for giving them a win. looks like Latimer's not suited for his gimmick. That's interesting. We'll have to take a look at that. Gets a D- though. It's not horrible. This is horrible though. Boy, we got to figure out this. We have Tim Storm out in the ring, kind of celebrating his last week's win. And Billy Corgan, having returned after months, comes back and grabs a microphone and kind of talks at him. So, he starts talking, Tim Storm starts talking about how he's the champion, best, most dominant champion of all time, longest run, even though he's only had one defense, blah, blah, blah. Crowd's booing him. Billy Corgan comes out, confronts him. And basically, Corgan says, "Storm, you've done the belt a disservice. When I was a kid, the World's Championship represented hope and courage and conviction. Now it's just a shiny thing to hold your pants up. No longer. From now on, the NWA World's Heavyweight Championship should represent the best of the best in pro wrestling. And you can't do that unless you prove your worth. So from now on, the World's Champion should be a fighting champion. And you will have to prove that worth tonight." So, according to Billy Corgan, NWA champion, if he's in a singles match, should always be fighting for the championship, which is a bit of a change. Got the crowd hotter, and obviously puts Storm in a position tonight because his match tonight, now, which was going to be an exhibition match, now actually has to be for the championship. Ooh, E+. Oh, that's a bummer. We have War Machine versus some jobbers that we grabbed from locals. It's not great, but War Machine quickly defeat both of them in 4 minutes. Yeah, that's well, good news is Rowe and Hansen are improving their Rumble skills, but man, that's a really bad rating for us here. That's rough. Jeez. Afterwards, we have Pinky George coming out to cut a promo. And he comes out with Tim Storm on his side, who's basically his champion. And Paul Pinky George starts cutting a promo, seemingly upset about Corgan's earlier intervention and coming back at all. Says, "Billy Corgan may have come here earlier trying to set up stipulations, but there's one important fact, that I am Paul Pinky George III, great-grandson of the founder of this company. And as such, I have majority stake in the future of the NWA and this show, NWA Power. Part of the privilege of my presence is that those who impress me can be rewarded, and those that don't, well, they can be punished. As a reward for those that understand who is actually in charge of this company, and that staying in line is integral to a healthy corporate culture, I have reinstated the NWA Founders Championship," which Tim Storm smiles broadly at, having used the championship in the past to supplant himself into the NWA World's Championship scene. And Pinky George continues, 5 medallions attached to the belt, 1 for each of the other founders of the company. Win a challenge for the medallion and prove your worth. Challenge each other and prove dominance. When all medallions are claimed, or one person holds them all, the founder's champion will be chosen, and with that, the ultimate prize. And he kind of points to Storm kind of as a representation of the privilege of the championship. So George is basically using the championship as a kind of a money in the bank title. You get to challenge for the medallions, presumably under his guidance. So if you do something to be rewarded for the shot, he will give you the shot for it. But the medallions can always be taken, like a 24/7 championship. So if you have a medallion and you lose a match, the person that pinned you gets the medallion. You can get all the medallions and thus become the Founders Champion, or if they're all claimed, there will be a match with all of the remaining medallion holders, and the winner of that match will become the Founders Champion. So it's kind of an interesting spin. It's a little bit of a money in the bank type kind of a situation, but it's always going on, and it allows a lot of stakes for the lower card, mid card, which is something that I wanted to do. We do have a gimmick turn. We want him to have he had no gimmick, so we want him to have a corporate suit gimmick. Got a great rating, which is awesome. We have an exhibition match with 2 new women's wrestlers for us, Thunder Rosa and Kimberly. It apparently has terrible wrestling and a non-existent crowd heat. Thunder Rosa defeats Kimberly in 7 minutes. Thunder Rosa got above average rating for her mysterious gimmick, and Kimberly got a great rating for fan favorite. This is mostly a popularity promotion, I believe, so they'll get better the more we put them in higher rated scenes. So hopefully, this type of bad performance is a small issue. We'll look at the production values because we do need to adjust some things after the fact anyways. All right. Much better match overall. We have it, it's an angle, sorry. A much better angle. Backstage, after Rowan Hansen had gotten done fighting, we get the cameras backstage where we see that they're entering the locker room, finding the Von Erichs and blindsiding and attacking them. They apparently don't seem too happy with the Von Erichs showing up and quickly established their dominance by leveling them out. We advance the storyline and gain heat for the Von Erichs' return to the NWA. Overall, not much to say about it, but not bad. And obviously, we're starting to build a little bit of a feud between these two. And in the final match, it's not great. We have Tim Storm fighting Trevor Murdoch and retaining his belt. He illegally uses the ropes for leverage and gets a quick win. So Storm has a future heel turn. He technically should be heel already, but for some reason he wasn't. So that's fine. We will address that and take care of that now. Overall, though, pretty weak main event, unfortunately. It didn't ask me if I wanted to change him. That's fine. E Plus is not great. Actually lost us popularity in one region. It did gain us popularity in 7. A little rough, though. Would be really looking for D's minimum. I have to imagine that YouTube's going to be pretty upset with us from that show. That's a little rough. Okay, Connor now leaves WWE. Perfect. Marquez is here. He will be a personality, I suppose. And we're still waiting for Homicide and Luke Harper's negotiations. All right, Mr. Anderson does not like Marshall Von Erich. Our power rating is okay, though YouTube is upset with our ratings. And Sasha's going around the world. We're probably going to lose Sasha pretty quickly, I think. But perhaps we will not. Well, let's grab Connor and Victor here. Ooh, they're expensive. All right. What do I need to do to get them here? And what's your lowest bar? So 10-10. Let's give you hiring veto. 970, looking better. And let's see what that does. 970, I think, is fine. We can handle that. Let's pull Victor in, too. He should probably still be on here. Uto got fired. Interesting. Actually, a bunch of people getting knocked out of NXT. We should probably look at that too and see who is leaving. Interesting. All right, so we want Victor. And we will grab him. Actually, kind of an interesting reunion potential here. Since we have Latimer. All right, what are you going to cost? So about the same. So if I give you wage, no, I don't want wage matching. If I give you hiring veto, you should be about the same. That's fine. It's a little pricey, to be honest, but I think the popularity boost will be beneficial for us. So overall, I'm not that concerned, but it's something we do have to be careful about because obviously we're still going to be losing money very quickly, but we're going to have to spend money to make money, I suppose. No prestige, heavy momentum, though, which is good. We ain't going to get to Colt anytime soon. What we got to do, though, is get that popularity up and get that roster going. Okay, so I wanted product, which I couldn't look at earlier, I think. So what are we... So wrestlers are rated equally on performance and popularity. Each show needs at least one storytelling match. Quite favorable getting spots. So if I move up to heavy here, what does that do? Fans expect to have storylines to follow. I think that's what we want. I think that could be beneficial to us, actually. Though I would prefer to actually have popularity over performance, to be honest. But I don't know if we're going to get that. Are we okay here? Match intensity needs to be lower. Right? Where is our match intensity? No, there it is. Okay, so intensity 40. That's fine. Danger's low. Let's bump up danger just a little bit. Let's make sure we're cool. So they shouldn't. I don't think there's going to be any problems with this, but I would like to have the storyline element. I don't know if storylines aren't affected if we don't have that requirement, but I just prefer to have it. I don't know. I'm weird. Anything else on here? Won't be keen to highly risk matches. I think that looks fine. I kind of actually wish we didn't have this because I don't think we have the performance abilities. I'd rather have popularity, to be honest, but that would involve changing a lot of this. And we got to be careful with changing this because people can get upset if we go too far one way or the other. I think we should be fine, though, with where we're at. Okay, and the final thing we should do, I'm just curious, just to check the wrestling world there. To see what the hell had happened. It looked like a lot of people got released by BJW. Holy crap. What is going on over there? Did they just fire everybody? All right. Story type. We want... Oh, is there not one just for fire? Relocations, dojos, everything else but... I think that counts as company news. No. Okay. Head booker, owners, signings, worker leaving. There it is. So what? Holy crap. That is a lot of people. NXT lost 3 people. That's just a mass firing of people. Jeez. Obviously, we got rid of some people. Interesting. Nobody to really pick up, though, I don't think. We'll have to keep an eye out, though, because there might be some people that we might want to scout in the future. Someone like Marty Scurll might not be a bad option, or some others. We can look at. All right, I think that's about it. It's a pretty packed show there. Interesting interesting momentum issues in terms of where we need to be for the product, but I think it's something that we can overcome. I'm a little concerned about how weak some of our wrestlers are, and perhaps we need to soup up our main eventers. Tim Storm technically shouldn't be a main eventer, but we just put him there because of the belt, but we'll probably change that pretty quickly. But our lower card is very weak, especially our women's division. We have a lot of women on a division, but they don't seem to be very great. But maybe with a little bit of a popularity boost, we can fix that. I mean, some of these are not very popular at all, so a little bit of a push might help, I suppose. All right, well, that is it, guys. Thank you for joining me. I'll see you next time.